Hello, Facebook friends and family, and I wanted to today share a conversation with you that I had with some students and parents. Of course, right now, more people than ever before are asking, is it really necessary to go to college? What is a 4-year degree worth? Is it worth the same as it was several years ago? And I understand that particular concern, particularly now that we live in a day and time where so many people seem to be graduating from college and then not finding job opportunities on the back end, and then to boot, having several $1,000s worth of debt. And that can be disheartening to say the least. But of course, that's the reason that I'm a big proponent of being much more strategic and intentional about your college approach. And that's definitely what I convey over and over and over again to students and parents and that sort of thing. So here's the thing. When it comes to a college degree, most people will tell you flat out they're going to college to get the skills for a particular area so they can get a good job when they get out. And guess what? That's fine and well, and that's understandable. And actually, that is the reason the majority of us go. That's the most popular and the dominant reason. But what I would submit to you is understand that college is a world of opportunity and experiences that you cannot replicate in any other way, shape, or form, particularly if you're going away to school. So I want to share with you some of those top reasons and top benefits for going away to school and understanding what that outcome could be. Now, first and foremost, one of the biggest benefits of going away to college, in my opinion, is going to be that you're going to gain a level of independence that you maybe wouldn't have otherwise had. And what I mean by that is typically if you're a high school graduate, if you're the traditional college student going straight into college from high school, you don't have a whole lot of life experience where you've had to be completely dependent. 9 times out of 10, you didn't have to fend for yourself in terms of housing, food, shelter, none of that. In addition to that, a lot of times if you were living at home, then you may have had the luxury of your mom or dad or someone else, some other adult in your life, to take off the burden or to help alleviate a situation if you got into a jam, that sort of thing. Well, college allows and fosters an environment for you to be able to become much more disciplined and to strengthen that muscle, if you will. So developing responsibility is going to be the next reason. Now, when I say that is, it's always interesting to me when people say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, think about it for a minute. Let's say you're on a college campus and like any good red-blooded American, you tend to maybe kick it a little hard. In other words, you've partied a lot. And if you party a lot, and let's say you've stayed up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and you've got an 8 o'clock class, well, the average student may be able to do that for a few times, but you really can't sustain that with any level of sufficiency, or at least the average person can't. So you learn the lesson, and the lesson is if you continue to do that, you're going to find yourself maybe out of the school, because a lot of times your grades just can't be sustained. Good grades can't be sustained if that is your regular habit, whether it's, you succumb to underage drinking, or again, you stay out partying way too late, knowing good and full well that you have places to be and obligations, namely class, which is the reason you're there in the first place. So responsibility is a big muscle that you develop ideally when you're in a college environment, in addition to the independence that we just spoke about. Last but not least, let's be honest. If I'm honest with myself, and if you're honest with yourself, we all make mistakes, and particularly when you're a young adult. You make some of the craziest decisions, and they seem rational to you maybe at the time. But keep in mind that when you're in a college environment, typically it's going to be a little more nurturing, and it allows you to fall forward maybe in a more safe environment. Because 9 times out of 10, with some of the mistakes that young people make on college campuses, if they were to do some of those, if they were to replicate and duplicate some of those mistakes back home, they could find themselves on the wrong side of the tracks, or worse yet, they might find themselves spending some time with law enforcement and not because it's an internship program that they're participating in. You understand? So there's a lot of different things that can happen based upon poor choices that you make as a young adult. But when you're in a college environment, they understand, they get it. That's the mindset of that particular age group. And a lot of times they have the resources and they have the staff and the mindset of knowing how to do that and to help you cultivate more as an adult. And here's the thing, it's much better for you to make some of those foolish mistakes and choices on a college environment where you're still at least progressing towards your degree and maybe ideally a career path, and you can fall forward, because when you can fall forward, you can at least look up. And guess what? If you can look up, you can get up. Now that's my time for the day. That's my tip for today. And just to review again, some of the top reasons to go away to college are going to be the fact that you gain independence. Well, actually, you gain independence. You gain a sense of responsibility and discipline. And lastly, it allows you to be in an environment where you can learn from your mistakes in a safe and nurturing environment. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.